You know, guys, people quit for so many different reasons in jiu-jitsu, and I've been trying to film this exact topic for a couple of days, and just wanted to get my words right because I didn't want it to sound pompous or mightier than thou or anything like that. But you know what? If it comes off and it hits you the wrong way, then whatever. If the shoe fits, right? But my name is Bill Jones. I'm the head instructor of top-level martial arts in beautiful downtown Cuyahoga Falls, back from Brazil, black belt under Master Pedro Sauer. You're watching Professor's Corner. All right, guys, so these are the top 5 reasons I see, and what I'm going to, let me say this a different way. The top 5 dumbest reasons I've received from people as far as why they're quitting jiu-jitsu. And let me be very clear at the beginning. I'm not talking about why they're not starting jiu-jitsu. That's a whole different conversation, and the reasons change. I'm talking about why they're quitting jiu-jitsu. So I'll start with 2 that might surprise you as why I think they're dumb reasons, so I'll give them lots of explanation. Number 5, it's too expensive. All right, so the reason I think this is a dumb reason to quit is because I believe it's a cop-out. You signed up for classes. It wasn't too expensive when you signed up, or you wouldn't have signed up, right? So that's what I mean. That's a difference. That's a reason people don't sign up, and I think it's valid then. But it's not a good reason to quit. Like, what happened? So assuming nothing major changed in your life, like, hey man, I lost my job, I've been trying, and that's different. That's I lost my job. That's not it's too expensive. Those are 2 different things. So no huge life-changing event has happened, but it suddenly is too expensive. That means that when people come to me and they say that, what they're really saying is, it's not a priority in my life. All right, fair. If it's not a priority to you, it's simply not a priority to you. Or, I would rather do something else. That's what that really means when someone says it's too expensive. Like, they would just rather be doing something else. So that's why I think it's a shit excuse, because all it is a cover-up for something else that they would rather not say. So yeah, that's my number 5. It's too expensive. Number 4, there's nobody to train with. Okay, so this is something, and I could do a whole video on this topic on itself, but like, your training partners are going to change throughout your life, and they're going to be farther and farther apart, like the people who can challenge you. Like, I'm at a level right now where in my own academy, not a whole lot of people can challenge me. So if I said, all right guys, everybody show up, I'm going to roll my best the entire time, 2, maybe 3 people could really come at me and give me a real problem. One of them is one of my black belts, like, they're going to have to be pretty high level. But if I open that up to the entire state and I said, okay, state of Ohio, I want to train with all the best, now we're talking, right? So like, your sphere of people who can challenge you and push you is going to expand, and you have to be willing to expand with it. For example, I'm getting ready for a super match. I don't like to use the term super fight, and I'm having to reach out to people to bring them in and say, hey, I need to train with you because you have this experience that I don't, and I want to get better. So I reach out to my friend David Porter, my friend Neil Fisher, my friend Jeff Curran. These are people that are far away from me, but I have to reach out. So that's just going to happen. It's just like any friendships that you have throughout your life, any relationships you have throughout your life. If you want those to grow, you have to work for them. You have to be willing to travel for them, and that's important. And, it's a stupid reason to quit. Your training partner moved away, your training partner quit. Find a new training partner. Find someone else who can challenge you. Push yourself. You have to grow with it, or you're going to wither and die. All right. Reason number 3, I just don't feel motivated. Okay. I don't feel motivated is probably the worst excuse to quit anything ever in the history of ever. You're going to not feel motivated to do whatever it is most of your life. Most of the time that you are training jiu-jitsu, or working on a thesis for a PhD, or working on anything, there's going to be times when you're like, I'm just not fucking motivated to do this. Pardon my language. And when that happens, you have to push through. You have to find a reason You have to look and say, look, I'm not motivated, but my goal is that I want to be 180 pounds instead of 300, so I have to keep going. That's the answer. Quitting will not get me to my goal, so I have to go even when I'm not motivated. Losing motivation does not mean, and I think this is the problem, is people think if I'm not motivated, that means I'm not interested. And I mean, look at it this way. Let's say I said there is $1 million at the finish line of a race. All right, all you have to do is run 26 miles, and you'll get that $1 million. You can do it in any amount of time. It doesn't have to be fast. You just have to complete it. You're going to complete that 26-mile run, whether it means that you have to walk and keep moving or whatever. You're going to push yourself because you're interested in the goal. So even though at times you're going to be like, I don't think I can run anymore. You're going to walk. You're going to meander. You're going to continue moving forward even when the pace is slow. And that has to continue in jiu-jitsu, guys. It has to. It just has to. If your goal, and the goal isn't black belt, right? That's not the goal. The goal is to be very good at jiu-jitsu. So to do that, you have to just keep moving forward. And sometimes the pace will be so sluggish. It will be so sluggish. And you're going to go and you're going to be like, man, I'm just getting my butt kicked and I'm getting, it's not the same. I mean, I had a student last night, he posted on Facebook. He's like, man, I really was not feeling it. I went to class, I was there, it was great, but I just wasn't into it, and that you're going to have days like that no matter what you do with whatever activity you choose. And if you think that that's a reason to quit, then you are out of your freaking mind. It is not. It doesn't mean that the goal isn't important to you anymore. It just means that things are hard, and that's how it is. All right, number 2, and this could be number 1 probably, but I'll make it number 2. Number 2 was, well, and this is more of why a parent pulled their kid out. My daughter's into boys now, and she's not interested in jiu-jitsu. That's the reason you freaking bring them to jiu-jitsu. What the hell's wrong with you? Are you a parent? Your daughter is interested in boys, so they're gonna stop jiu-jitsu? 90% of jiu-jitsu happens between the legs, folks. If you want your daughter, let's be honest, and this is gonna sound as crass as it can be. I have 2 daughters of my own, and I'm sure when they grow up and hear me talking about this, they're gonna be like, ew, daddy. But guess what? At some point, there's going to be a guy between their legs. And I want to make sure it's because she wants them there. If you're pulling your children out of jiu-jitsu because they're getting interested in the opposite sex, you are absolutely out of your mind. What are you going to do when that boy decides, oh, she's had a little bit of alcohol, maybe now's the time to, just a tip, just to see how it feels, and kind of goads her into something she doesn't want, or she isn't in the right mental state to make the right decisions. Those things are going to happen. That's real life, folks. And if you pull your daughter out of the only thing that can protect them, you are insane. You're a bad parent. Stop it. That's a terrible reason to pull your kid out of jiu-jitsu. You come to me and you say, hey, so this is a great example of why a parent pulled. You know what? My daughter started because she was really shy. She was overweight. She wasn't happy with her body. She's been training 4 years now. She's slimmed down. She's happy. She's super outgoing and confident. And so, she just doesn't want to come anymore. And that's hard for me because she trained for 4 years. But you know what? She met her goals. I saw this girl destroy full-grown women on the mat in tournaments. And so it's hard for me to say that much talent shouldn't quit. But she met her goals. It wasn't because she was interested in boys. It was because she actually came and met the goals that she had. So that's really different. All right, the number 1 reason. Yeah, my kid's just not into it. Okay, great. My kid's not into brushing her teeth. You know what I do? I make her brush them anyway. If you're a parent and you sign your kid up for martial arts or jiu-jitsu, it probably wasn't even to learn how to fight. Going back to the previous comment, it was probably because they were shy, or they needed discipline, or they need confidence. And it's not up to them when they quit. I remember trying to quit martial arts when I was 17 years old. I was a brown belt. I had won 2 national championships. And I was working on this new form. I was in Kung Fu. And I just couldn't get it, man. There were these little technical elements that I just wasn't getting. They were so hard. And I remember, I threw a fucking temper tantrum, if I'm going to be honest. I threw this temper tantrum. I walked out, and in my mind, I was done forever. I wasn't gonna get to black belt. I was done forever. And I remember my mom looking at me, and she said, "Stop being a baby. Come with me." And it was raining. It was pouring down rain. And she takes me to our tennis courts of our high school, which was weird because we didn't have a tennis team, but whatever. Takes me to the tennis courts in the rain, freaking storm. It was like a scene out of a movie. We're standing there in the rain, and she's like, "Do it, do the form." And this had rolling on the ground and jumping and everything. I'm doing this on a tennis court. So I do it and don't quite get it, and she's like, "Again and again and again." And finally I got it. And that's because my mom understood the value of what I was learning. The value of commitment, the value of discipline, the value of continuing until your body can't take it anymore. And because of her, I learned a valuable lesson. But if you let your kids quit because they're just not into it, of course they're not into it. It's discipline. It's hard. You're failing as a parent. This is why a lot of people don't get very far in life, is because you let them quit things. And I would argue that the same is true of yourself. It's fine if you don't want to continue jiu-jitsu, but damn, pick something else up and master it. Get really damn good at it. I don't care if it's train building or golf or whatever. Don't just do it as a hobby, okay? You want to be good at nothing. You want to be okay and metal in certain things. Oh, look, I can kind of do some computer graphics. That's cool. Yeah, you know what? It looks like my 10-year-old did it. That's no good. Frickin' get good at something. Master something. Show some discipline in your life. Guys, sorry, went off on a rant. I told you it might sound a little holier than thou, and I apologize. Listen, if you have comments, what's the dumbest reason you've ever heard for people quitting jiu-jitsu? I probably missed a few, but I want to hear the dumbest reason you've ever heard. Or if you want to tell me, screw off, dude, you don't know what you're talking about, say that too. Put it in the comments below. Give me a like, a subscribe. I really appreciate it. Have a great day.